here, according for a little bit of a weird Thursday slate, James. We're going to be covering both the 4 games starting at 1 p.m. and then we're going to finish it off with the 3 games in the evening here over on DraftKings here tonight. Again, a split slate, small slate, so we suggest you play a little light here. We're going to have some pretty high rostership on these slates because of how unique they are, but still want to go ahead and give you a little coverage of what we got going on here today. So, James, man, how are we feeling about 4 games here kicking off at 1 o'clock?
Definitely an interesting slate. We get to go right back to with Arizona and Colorado. That should be a fun game for offenses. Some decent pitching in the mid tier, especially when you look at their price points. We're not used to seeing Scherzer, Peralta, Musgrove, the prices they are. So definitely an interesting slate and one that, Kevin Gossman minus 205 favorite, Max Scherzer minus 170 favorite. Zach Davies rather minus 175 favorites. Some big favorites early on. Joe Musgrove a slight favorite on the road. So some really good pitching, I would say, which is very odd to say because it's just 4 games.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% here. Do we have any totals or spreads to look at right now?
So let's dive into the over-unders. The over-under is that's peaking. Our interest should be Colorado, Arizona is 9.5 or 10, depending on where you're looking. Every other game is 8 or 8.5. So Colorado and Arizona, which I think doesn't surprise anyone. Chase Anderson versus Zach Davies is the pitching matchup there. Every other game is just middling, and I think pitchers paradise kind of. I mean, there's truthfully 3 bad pitchers on the slate, and the rest of them are good. So
yeah.
Some low totals outside of that one, out of the late afternoon hammer.
Sure. Let's get into it then. Like you said, there's some elite pitching here, so we're gonna have to try and unlike what we sort of had on the Wednesday main slate, where it was a bunch of kind of blah, where Tommy Henry as the second lowest price pitcher on the slate is maybe gonna come out as the highest scoring starter there. And then Clark Schmidt in the mid tier, like you're not your typical starters out there throwing some gems here. We have Gossman, we have Luzardo, we have Scherzer, we have Peralta, we have Musgrove. Some big name value, but not always performing to their name value this season. Talk to me, man. Like, how are we attacking this slate today?
So I would pretty much play everyone Joe Musgrove and up tonight. Gossman's in a really good spot, coming off 8 strikeouts. I know he struggled in the walks, but Minnesota can be a pesky offense. We've seen Milwaukee just really a lot of variance with their lineup. I think they're hurting without Willy Adames. I mean, hitting Owen Miller second, Rowdy third, like Brian Anderson fifth, and there's still no Rowdy. They have the 8th highest strikeout rate against righties, so I like Kevin Gossman. I'm probably least bullish on Jesus Luzardo, just because San Diego's showing a lot of power against left-handed pitching. Not that Luzardo's been bad outside of really one start against San Francisco, but he does have a couple multi-home run starts. And I think, like, just bang for your buck, Scherzer 8,700 coming off his best start of the year and 3 consecutive really good starts for him. 2 earned runs allowed in his last 18 innings. And that is paired with a, 19-3 strikeout to walk ratio as well. Not going to get Scherzer 8,700 for much more. Honestly, like, I know Freddie Peralta got absolutely tattooed by San Francisco his last time out, but like, what is Toronto doing that's scaring us right now? I mean, they just got shut down by Julio Teheran. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Freddie Peralta, although he has had some down games this season, he's also had 5 games of 22 or more fantasy points. And then I said it to you last time. Joe Musgrove took the mound, $7,300. He was in Yankee Stadium. He was 7,500. He's just too good to not be good. And sure enough, only 1 earned run in that start, over 6 1/3, picks up a win. I like him as a slight favorite in Miami here. Miami's offense, has been more potent against lefties. So
yeah.
I love Joe Musgrove, and I'm really stopping there. I don't think we need to dive any deeper. Like, we don't need to get to Walker, Davies, or Anderson.
I would 1,000% agree with you. And I think given sort of how we're going to be approaching our roster builds today, probably want Musgrove in there for the value, and then you can pick and choose between Scherzer and Gossman and kind of move on from there on this slate. For catcher, again, it is day baseball, so we'll have to figure out who's going to be in, who's going to be out. But knowing that Francisco Alvarez didn't play on Wednesday makes me feel pretty confident that he'll be playing on Thursday, which means he gets a spot here against Taijuan Walker. Probably going to be going in that direction at $3,600. But still, if like Gabriel Moreno is in the lineup against Anderson, I'm certainly okay going there as well. But when there is good pitching, there aren't often many good options hitting wise. So do you find yourself comfortable playing anybody else here today, catcher?
Maybe El Gary, who homered with the Padres.
Okay.
He made his debut, homered in his debut on Tuesday. Not exactly like the most exciting play. He's obviously well past his prime. We all understand that. But, Luzardo, again, has allowed some power to righties. Sanchez clearly still has a little bit of power left in the tank. So maybe Sanchez, but, that's just even kind of towing a line,
Yep, 100%. Over at first base here, again, a lot of top end guys. Alonso, Guerrero not coming through for us yet. Maybe they come through for us on this slate. Christian Walker did homer today. Maybe going to get it going. He's got Anderson, top 3 price guys there. But on a small slate, just talk to me, man. Who are you? Just yep, this is a guy I'm putting into my lineup at first today.
Pavin Smith, is that okay if I go back to the well? $3,300, Pavin Smith. I understand we have all those top names and that's cool and stuff, but I loved Pavin Smith going into Wednesday slate. Now it makes 2 really good games in a row for him. He's been on base 4 times on Wednesday. So 3,300, I'm going right back to the well against Chase Anderson, who's just kind of benefited from a bunch of good luck. So I will be going back to well on Pavin Smith.
I like Pavin Smith, and I like one of whomever's in the lineup for Colorado here. Nolan Jones, Mike Moustakas.
It's a good call.
Both of those guys there probably good spots. Lefties this year, again, super small sample size. Zach Davies, just 3 starts. Lefties, though, 10 for 24 against Zach Davies. 417 average, 542 slug, 1,000 OPS off Zach Davies here. So Nolan Jones in the outfield can play him or first base. Mike Moustakas, first base, third base. Could find yourself playing both of them here on this slate again. And is Pavin outfield? That Pavin still outfield eligible as well. So a lot of guys with multi-position eligibility likely finding their way into some lineups here at first base or other positions on this slate here today for sure. Second base position here. Ketel Marte is your top guy. Luis Urias, Cronenworth, Stott, Rojas. Any of those names clicking to you?
Marte is expensive. I could probably get there. Luis Arias, if you want to pay $4,600 for a guy only hitting singles, that's fine. Whit Merrifield's okay. I just feel pretty good, getting to Jeff McNeil, $3,500. I'd rather play McNeil than Arias for $1,100 cheaper. They're the same player. One guy's just $1,100 cheaper. Owen Miller continues to hit. He had a 2-run double and 2 hits. Again, I know Kevin Gossman is his opposition, but why not keep playing Owen Miller for free? I'd be interested to see if Harold Castro cracks the lineup.
Another lefty, right?
And then obligatory Kevin Biggio, who was very productive again on Wednesday.
Dude, hits in what we got now 6 of 7 games, something like that for Kevin Biggio. So
his father is going to be proud.
He is. And I know we just kind of glanced by Whit Merrifield, but I like Whit as well. 3,800 solid base potential, middle lineup, all works. Third baseman's here. McMahon, lefties against Davies.
Yes, sure. Dude, he's been really good, and he's been really good.
Yeah,
he's been really good lately. So I'm definitely in on Ryan McMahon there.
I agree with you 100% there. Ha-Seong Kim against lefties has been a thing we've played in the past here. 770 OPS the last 10 for him here, so maybe
stolen base in 3 straight games too.
Like the speed coming through for him. 9 steals now on the season, 5 homers. We mentioned the Moose. You mentioned Miller. Beatty down to $3,200 here.
Yes, Beatty's been just a product of bad luck. All the peripheral numbers suggest he's gonna come around.
Okay. Ventos down here as well, 28 if he's in the
I don't know if
lineup.
you saw Abraham Toro hit a home run tonight.
I
John.
did. I did see that.
We gave him a little shout, a little
Alec
rub
Manoah
on.
is that bad.
Yes, he sure is. Sure is.
That's it, though. I mean,
That's it.
Toro's in the lineup again, maybe, but you're just stacking against Gossman at that point, right?
Yeah, it's not fun. Yeah, not fun.
Not fun. Shortstop, Bo Bichette, I do like. I know he didn't do anything because nobody on Toronto did anything here in this slate, unless they played the bottom of their lineup. But willing to go there at 53.
Yep, same.
I guess give Perdomo another look at 38.
He'll be in the lineup. We know that, right?
Yeah. Joey Wendell, 2,700. Shortstop's gross. I think we're just spanning it up for Bichette and crossing our fingers here. That's where
Bichette. I mean, like if we're stacking against Luzardo, I could see a scenario where you want to play Xander, but Xander also has a 197 average against lefties this year.
Yeah, yes, he is. He after that white hot start, he has fallen off the cliff.
Lindor, maybe. I know he's homered. 2 of his home runs over his last 10 came in cores, but 2 didn't. So just as a one-off like power, let's see. Taijuan Walker against lefties this year. 350 WOBA, 810 OPS allowed. So maybe some Lindor. Maybe. It's a, we kind of know what Lindor is. Writing on the wall for Lindor so far this year.
Yeah, power-wise for Perdomo, all 5 of his home runs against righties.
Yeah, he's by a mile been better from the lefts.
Yeah, batting average, he's been better as a righty. 350 batting average, but all the power, 280 average as a righty still, but all the power, 5 homers.
Okay.
Coming from the left side of the plate. So definitely a good spot for him there. All right, let's go to outfield then. Again, 4-game slate. These are moving by quick. We'll do a lineup after this, and we'll cut down to the 3-game slate to finish off the show. Outfielders, man. Tatis is $6,100. Again, not hitting well because the Padres lineup is just largely disappointing. So not a lot of fun going on there. Soto's got Luzardo as well. Harper's got Scherzer, Soler. Like against Musgrove, probably a no. So we just kind of click it back to Corbin Carroll.
We sure do.
No reason not to. $5,000.
Yep, right back to the well.
Right back to the well. I mean, if Blackman's in the lineup, what's his deal here?
He's dealing with a death. Yeah.
Okay.
So probably not.
Could be back, but maybe not.
Yeah.
Because he's been out since the Monday. So
yeah, I guess could be. Yeah.
Could be back. We'll see. But lefties against Davies, $4,800 if he's in there. Lourdes, assuming he's in the lineup, $45. Good. I like Nimmo here as well.
Grishik and Profar both have hit righties pretty well.
Profar will be in from the left side of the plate here today. 39.
Yeah, Profar 328 WOBA is pretty good. 5 home runs he's hit all come against righties.
Okay, I can get there. You mentioned Pavin Smith already. Where's that guy? Jake McCarthy, $2,800.
I mean, if they're gonna give it to us,
he's cheaper today than he was yesterday. I guess as we're watching this, right?
Been cheaper today than he was the last 4 slates.
It's true, and he stole another bag today.
Yep, 2 hits, another.
Hits. Free. He's a free square, $2,800.
Yeah, and no one played him again. I don't know if people just think he's not going to steal a base or like what they really think, but nobody played him again.
He's going to steal a base. Anything else for you here?
Kiermaier been pretty good. He gets Peralta, Peralta's problem has been righties this year, John. I wonder if that's going to be an issue here against the Blue Jays because we've talked about the Blue Jays lineup construction is Bichette righty, Vlad righty, Chapman righty. Middle of their lineup is just righty, Springer righty. Literally the 4 of their first 5 right hitters. So maybe we do go back to the Blue Jays potentially, which is big scary, but I don't see anything else. It's also a small slate, and we just saw Peralta get lit the hell up. So, I guess Kiermaier would probably be like the last.
Okay. Well, let's build a lineup then for this 4-gamer here. I think we're pretty much set in on McCarthy here.
Yep, and I would say Corbin Carroll as well. Probably straight back to the well with both.
Where do we want to go with the other outfield spot here? We had Pavin was also outfield eligible.
Him or Nolan Jones, if we wanted to just play lefties and use Pavin Smith at first or Nolan Jones at first.
I like Nolan Jones here.
Okay.
Let's use Nolan Jones in the outfield. We'll put McMahon in at third. First base, you liked Pavin there. That's fine. Second base. Do we have a second baseman that we were in on?
McNeil, Owen Miller, Harold Castro. We're gonna have so much money. Like
we're one-offing Bichette.
We are gonna have Musgrove.
Yeah, Musgrove.
And we haven't even picked a catcher yet. We don't even need. We have so many dollars to spend.
$2,100. I mean, do we not even play? Do we just? You said righties against Peralta, right?
Yeah, it's been righties against Peralta.
Give it a go, Bichette Guerrero.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay going back to the well. They were very chalky on Wednesday, and you know what's going to happen, John? No one's going to play them on Thursday.
Well, we always say nobody plays
Blue Jays.
Nobody plays them.
Well, so, and then when everyone did, they let them down. So like everyone's now there's no chance anyone's going to play them.
Right. So this is an example lineup that we got going on here for this 4-game main slate. Musgrove, Gossman, Alvarez at catcher, Vlad Guerrero, Harold Castro at second, McMahon at third, Bo Bichette, Jake McCarthy, Corbin Carroll, Nolan Jones. We're looking at lefty bats against Zach Davies. We're doubling up Carroll, McCarthy here. Maybe again they'll do the 8-3 lineup play. You know, a little wraparound possibilities there. Long shot there, and then Vladdy Bichette against Freddie. What were the numbers there? Righties against Peralta.
Righties against Peralta this year: 290 average, 850 OPS, 368 WOBA allowed.
Okay, so we'll see if they can get at home for Toronto. Let's see if they can get on the board here and take advantage of this Freddie Peralta lineup. Again, you're going to have a lot of money left over here, most likely. And on slates like this, to be different, it's okay not to spend all the money. I know we just kind of made some pivots to spend all the cash, but could have left some money on the table and figured it out. We also used Musgrove. Could have just as easily used the extra $2,100 and gone up and played
Scherzer and done something different. Yeah.
All right. Now we're going to go on to the 3-game night slate here, and Minnesota's got a little rain symbol, so is this going to turn into a 2-game night slate? We'll have to wait and find out. We have Cincinnati, Boston, Cleveland, Minnesota, LA, Houston here on the main slate here. Cincinnati against a lefty for the second straight evening. James Paxton went through little trouble tonight. Went through as 8 strikeouts, 5 innings, 1 earned run allowed. Red Sox bullpen came in, gave up all the runs. So if you listen to me and sacked Cincy, you still won. If you listen to James and play James Paxton, you did fine there too. So can't really be too upset with the way the night turned out, depending on which side of the argument you were there for us. Again, 3 games, James. Do we have any lines that we should be looking at here?
9 implied runs, Cincinnati, Boston, 8 in Cleveland, Minnesota. Doesn't really surprise me. Those are the only 2 games we have out. Also, a lot of good pitching again. Like 6 good pitchers on this slate. Money line, Chris Sale and the Red Sox -165, Pablo Lopez -140 against the Guardians.
Gonna take a quick peek at the Minnesota weather here, see what we got going on for Thursday. Do a little hourly Weather Channel forecast here. Let's see. The game starts at 7, so we have
or 7:40.
7:40. So this is Central Time. So we are looking. They got isolated thunderstorms from 5 to 6. Then that rain clears out. And and then doesn't seem like the rain picks back up until 10 o'clock. So
it's sneaking in there.
There's a window from 6 to 10, basically, where there is limited precipitation, and then it picks back up later in the evening here. So should be good, but obviously if things move one way or the other, then could get some rain. So hopefully they get this game in here, because it's going to rain pretty much all through the next morning. So once the rain starts, it's not stopping rest of the evening. So hopefully they can get that in. All right, let's break this down here. 3 games: Valdez, Sale, Lopez, Bibby, Green, and Detmers. Obviously, all of these guys this year have pitched well for us at times. Yep. Green is probably the biggest wild card of the group, given the fact that he has immense strikeout potential, 21 strikeouts. The last 2 starts, he had a 6-inning no-hitter against the Cubs in his last outing, but threw 110 pitches, had to get taken out. They won 9-0 at 38 fantasy points. Guy's an absolute wild card. He had that. What was that start earlier this year where at 10 strikeouts? Was it Oakland?
He had 10 strikeouts in 4 innings or something like that.
Yeah, they had to take him out of the game. He barely got there for us, but 112 pitches in 5 innings. So big time strikeout guy. Red Sox lineup don't generally strike out, but they do have guys like Tristan Casas who weren't in the lineup on Wednesday that do strike out a ton. And Green is just such an elite strikeout guy, could certainly punch out some of these guys here. We have Lopez against Cleveland. Cleveland has been our punching bag almost all season long, but Lopez lately not great. No. Dodgers, Angels, Toronto have all roughed him up. He's $7,600 here. Chris Sale against Cincy, as I mentioned. A lot of guys in Cincy do have good splits against lefties, but tonight didn't show, and Chris Sale's been pitching pretty good. I don't know if you saw, James, it wasn't released at all, and some people were actually pretty upset about this. Chris Sale apparently was battling a stomach flu all week going into that Arizona start, and not a single person knew about it. So bettors, gamblers were out there, were like, wait a minute.
How's that possible?
This felt like information that should have been reported before the start. It was reported afterwards. Alex Cora said, we were hopeful he was going to be able to go at least 5 innings. They didn't expect him to go more than 5. They pulled him at 73 pitches after 5 innings here because he was battling the flu all week.
What a nightmare.
Nobody reported it.
What a nightmare.
Right? So you spent $9,000 on Chris Sale against Arizona, and he had the flu, and you had no idea that he was expected to be pulled after 5 innings. So that being said, I assume he's no longer dealing with the flu. He is $7,900 here. You're getting a nice discount off his last price. Guy's been nails. So if he's healthy, feels like a pretty good spot. And then Framber's your top price guy against the Angels. Obviously, tougher matchup. Trout, Ohtani, guys like that. But, Renfroe, Drury, guys that can hit lefties. But Framber's also very good.
Yeah, he also had 8 innings, 1 earned, 12 strikeout game against the Angels. So Framber, you can play against anyone. I like Sale. Same thing can be said about Sale as I said about Paxton. There's high strikeout upside for Boston pitching against this Cincinnati team. Lopez, I will say the Guardians have scored a bunch of runs over the last 3 games. To their credit, they have been annoying. I love Tanner Beebe here. I know Hunter Brown kind of let us down, and he wasn't as great as he started the game as.
Twins don't have Buxton or Royce Lewis in their lineup, and they score all the runs.
So. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it going into the slate. They had the highest strikeout rate against right-hand pitching. They were tied with Oakland. Now Beebe has 9 strikeouts and 7 strikeouts in 2 of his last 3 starts. He's looked excellent. 6+ innings, 2 earned runs or less in 3 straight. I like him a lot against Minnesota, and I can see a scenario where you're also playing guys in Minnesota, for Minnesota as well. Green for tournaments, Detmers for tournaments. But I think there's a case to be made for literally every starter on this slate. Lopez probably coming in worse form. Detmers probably worse matchup. Sure. But I could see myself playing everybody.
All right, we got a couple of minutes left here, so let's kind of blow through, again, 3 games. So catcher position, just list me off who you're interested in, who you're not interested in.
Stevenson, I like. Connor Wong hits righties well. Jeffers has been pretty good, and depending on which, if you want to play Angels catcher, Chad Wallach homered. Those are probably like the 4 guys I'd.
Okay.
Yeah.
First base position here, we got Ohtani, and then we got down below after that big price drop. Turner, Steer, Kirilloff, Abreu, Casas. Thoughts?
We probably go right back to the well with Spencer Steer against a lefty. Kirilloff 3,100. He continues to get on base a lot of walks lately. Naylor looks good. Josh Bell looks good. Like Naylor had 46 fantasy points on the early slate. A home run, 6 RBIs, a stolen base. Like that's not obviously sustainable, but he's actually had a lot of big games lately. Him and Josh Bell both, I think, are probably in play if you're going Guardians.
I agree with you. Just give us one of them with outfield eligibility. Fake it for us, Brad.
I know. Like Ohtani. We're doing that with Ohtani, right?
Just fake it for us. Second base here. India, Altuve is your top 2 guys here, both against lefties. Jimenez down below. Edmanuel Valdez homered tonight.
Yep.
He gets Hunter Green there. Newman leading off against lefties at 2,300.
Yeah, I like pretty much every person you just mentioned, and Altuve. I really like Altuve at 5,200. I'm not gonna lie, I'd probably spend up for him.
Yep, that works for me. Devers had a decent little game. Also got robbed. Had an absolute missile. Great play in the outfield. Probably saved him from having another double here tonight. So maybe loves that home cooking. Bregman, Ramirez, Senzel. Good night tonight.
Yep. Royce Lewis, John.
Third base, shortstop. Royce Lewis. Probably don't need to talk. Willie Castro. You talked about him the other day. Keeps on keeping on.
Another stolen base today. Another one. By the way, they don't have it because they finished.
Yeah.
But another stolen base, really.
Yep. Another good day for Castro. Shortstops. Painter's your top price guy. Correa in the mid tier there.
McLean 41.
Yeah, McLean probably right. Probably where we go. McLean, Nato against the lefty, even though it's Valdez and Lewis is there as well. And then outfielders. Talk to me about your favorite outfielders here. Yoshida homered tonight.
I know. Still feels a little too pricey for me, but there is power upside. Buxton, I'll always give a shout for potential power. Jaron Duran, 4K if you're stacking Red Sox.
Doubled tonight.
Yep.
Renfroe, 37. I know it's a tough spot, but
Renfroe, 37. I know. I wanted to say all the Angels, and then I was like, oh, Franbar. McCormick, 32. Jolks, any of those guys starting in the outfield for Houston, who they play musical chairs. Jake Myers hit the home run on Wednesday, so if he's in the lineup, I think that's fine. If you play Fairchild, just be ready for him to be pinch hit. You play cash, and you can play Casher out here as well.
Yep. So that's our look at the 3 games there on the outfield. 3 games for the late slate. James and I again will be in the Discord all day long. So if you have any questions, feel free to pop in there and check us out. If you're not yet a member of the Fantasy Star family, go to fantasystar.com/allpro, promo code MLB50. Will save you 50% off the first 6 months. That comes with a 7-day free trial, and you get into our premium Discord there. Promo code MLB50. We also have the NFL 50 promo code working right now because this promo 6 months will give you through the first couple months of the NFL season. So take advantage of what we got going on. James and I will be back for Friday's slate. No live show here today at 5 o'clock due to the short slate at night, but we'll be back full day on Friday.